Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends of the Playhouse. Machine, I think I'm a little too loud if you could turn me down. Welcome to Monday Night Chaos. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am your intrepid host, the new Mr. Monday Night, Yell Chaos, here for your viewing pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my special guest, a gentleman that needs no introduction, but an introduction anyway. My very good friend, the special guest tonight, RPG Machine 86.
Hey, how you guys doing? Thank you, Kaos, for having me on. This should be pretty awesome. Got some interesting things to talk about.
Excellent. I'm sorry, audio started playing in my ear. We're just having another one of those Class A productions like we do every single week right here on Monday Night Chaos. So it's good to see all the usual faces. Maluigi Scapelli is here. Hello. I always love Maluigi Scapelli being here because it reminds me of the Super Mario Brothers movie. There are people that don't like the Super Mario Brothers movie. Fuck those people. By the way, did you know, Machine, did you know about this? The 23rd anniversary of Super Mario Brothers, the movie, May 28th of this year. Did you know about that?
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. Now, how did you feel about that movie?
At the time or now?
Just overall.
Okay, well, at the time when I was a kid, I thought it was really cool, but I didn't understand why it wasn't more like Mario. And today, I pretty much feel exactly the same. I like the movie. I think it's funny. I think they got good actors to be in it, but like I just wish it was a little more like Mario Brothers, the game, and a little less like weird sci-fi dino weirdness. I don't know.
No, I see where you're coming from. I know what you mean. I remember when I saw the movie, like, okay, you have to remember, and this is might be a little bit different, but when I was a kid, the popular movies were like RoboCop and a lot of dystopian stuff. And also I was used to seeing weird movies. So when I remember seeing it in the theater. I was telling Mrs. Yokeas about this. I saw it in the theater, a double feature with a movie called Life with Mikey. And I sat through that movie to see Super Mario Brothers, the movie. And I just took it as all right. Because even then, I had no idea how to fathom what the fuck would a Super Mario Brothers movie be. I had already seen the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, and I hope to hell it wasn't that. Nothing against, I love Captain Lou. Make no mistake about that. But I didn't want that. It's like that was fine. That was whatever. And so I just kind of took it. And also, at this time, this is right when John Leguizamo was about to get real hot. So that was like the first movie of his kind of domination of the middle 90s.
Yeah, that's very true.
So it doesn't seem that bad when you look at it from that scope. Now, but if you're going to compare it to a video game, you can compare any video game to a movie, your crap's out. It just doesn't work that way. I don't know what people expect. But I will say this. It's apparently everyone who ever worked on the movie said it's a total fucking mess. Just a total mess. So you thought I was into a big punchline. No, I wasn't.
I definitely agree with you, though. Like, at the time, I was kind of. I mean, we were all at that time seeing movies that were very like weird dystopian kind of things. Like, I mean, I can think of like a bunch of movies right offhand from the early 90s.
Don't forget that movie was the same year as RoboCop 3. RoboCop 3 came out the same year. So contrast and compare those two films.
Yeah, which I mean, RoboCop 3 is by far the worst of the three, in my opinion. I mean, of the original three, just my opinion. But you know,
the original. Oh, that's right. There was a RoboCop remake. I forgot. I'm sorry. I always forget about that. It's like that looks like Black Goldfish Bowl Man.
Oh, the newer RoboCop.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see it. I'm not going to judge it and say, oh, it sucks. I just looked at it. It's like. No,
you're not missing anything. It was so like plain white bread.
Because really, I don't even like to rewatch the original RoboCop because it's so fucking violent. It's almost a snuff film.
Yeah, it's true. Like when I was a kid, like my dad, I'm pretty sure my dad like either took me to the theater or got the movie and let me watch it with him, like the first RoboCop, and I was way too young. It gave me nightmares and terrified
I don't
me.
know how that movie got an R rating, because remember when you were growing up and you thought R, like R is the worst fucking movie they could possibly show you, right? The worst movies made are R movies. Oh, we're not allowed to see. There's something wrong. And RoboCop is rated R. And also, Mo Money is rated R. Contrasting, sorry, Mo Money is not. I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker is rated R as well. Contrast and compare those two movies and tell me which would be worse for your kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Because I wanted to see both those movies. I wasn't allowed to see them because they were rated R. But now, as an adult, just looking is like, wait a minute, somebody really believes that these two movies are the same fucking thing.
Yeah,
and these are the people we let run our lives. Isn't that amazing? Anyway, welcome to the program. I'm glad everyone got to hear us have a little chat about RoboCop and my feelings about RoboCop and other violent sort of movies. Tonight, we're going to talk about a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I thought I'd have RPG Machine on here tonight because Kid Shoryuken told me he needs to get out more and he needs to do more, so we're going to put him to work tonight. So everyone, give him a hard time down there in the comment section and tell him how you feel. And tell him if he's doing a good job, because he's going to do a good job. You know he is. And if you don't watch the Powerful stream, how are you not watching the Powerful stream? I tell you about it all the time. Go see the Powerful stream over on Kid Shoryuken's channel. And what's great is we can talk all kinds of shit about Kid Shoryuken because he's not here. It's great. And, that's just an observation. But we're going to start on a sad note. We have to, before we get to the humorous portion of tonight's program, we have to start on a sad note. We just lost, and I know. It seems like, for those of you that follow me on the Facebook, you notice I put a plug in there. It worked out nicely. For those of you that follow me on Facebook, the only thing I seem to be talking about on the Facebook is people dying. That's almost everything that comes out on there. Rest in peace, this person. Rest in peace, that person. And it's kind of depressing. It really is. But we did lose Prince Rogers Nelson, the purple one, the artist forever known as Prince. I was a little alarmed by it. Also, mostly because Chyna got the job to Prince. I woke up in the morning and Chyna died. I said, "Oh, that's sad." And I went back to sleep for about 15 minutes. And then I got out of bed and someone said, "Prince fucking died." And I said, "Oh shit." And I forgot all about Chyna.
Yeah.
Until people were bringing up on Twitter that Chyna died too and no one gave a fuck because Prince died. Like, ouch, man.
I mean, come on, though, people. You're comparing someone who's an icon to someone who is, I don't even know what you would call her, a B, D, E rate celebrity at this point. She did
I don't know if that's entirely fair, because if you really want to look at Prince, if he was anything, he was an iconoclast. And what do iconoclasts do? They piss people off. And what do they do to you when you piss them off? They try and make you go away. Prince is not as popular now on the radio and all that shit around as he used to be, but he still drew money every single fucking year, despite the fact that other people wanted to do with him. And, it's a matter of your audience, too, because to some people, Jody Laurer, the Chyna, I'm probably lying if I say that she was a big deal. How can I put this? She had her fans.
Yeah.
She had her fans. And just like, and this is going to sound really egotistical, but one day there will be no more Yell Chaos program. And then a handful of people will be sad. I don't know who they'll be. It won't be that many, but there will be some. And I'm not trying to put myself on the same level as Prince and Chyna. Well, this is a slippery slope, isn't it, Andrew?
Yeah, a little bit.
Speaking of slippery slopes, Chyna, she was. See what I did there? I just bought myself some time.
I like that.
No, rest in peace to the both of them. Chyna, I want to say good things about Chyna. I really do, but I can't think of anything about. I mean, I saw she was on some sitcom in the 90s, and I remember she wasn't that annoying in it, and I can't remember what it was. Somebody will remember. Somebody will write down.
Wow, I hope somebody does say, because I want to see it.
I remember seeing. I want to say it was on Third Rock from the Sun. I think she was involved with French Stewart's
Yes,
character.
yeah, she was on Third Rock from the Sun.
Was it Third Rock from the Sun?
She was the cop from Seinfeld. It was his. Well, he was a cop on that show, but he was
yeah. Don Knight.
Yes.
Or Wayne Knight. Excuse me, Wayne Knight.
Yeah, she was like, or no, she was one of their love interests. It was either him or the skinny guy that like squinted all the time on that show. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, his name is Wayne Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're talking about. I'm sorry, you're talking about French Stewart. French Stewart.
Yeah. It's one of those two. She was a love interest, but yeah, now that you said that, I remember her.
Yeah,
because she was a cop on it, and like I remember that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's so crazy.
And I remember that because I was surprised. Like, oh, she can talk. Like, she doesn't have like a really sexy voice. She has a really kind of squeaky voice. She sounds like, well, a lot of your moms. You know it. Yeah. A lot of people's moms got that kind of squeaky voice, even though she's a kind of great big lady. But I remember I was impressed by that. It's like, oh, she can act, because Hulk Hogan can't. And that's not saying a lot. I mean, she did fall for a sitcom, which is a lot harder to do than a movie. A movie, you get to say it until you get it right, and if you never get it right, they can cut it together in post to make it look like you got it right. Which is why the Hulk Hogan and The Rock are frauds.
Yes.
Fucking Chyna was actually acting in an actual acting circumstance. So, hip hip hooray for fucking Chyna. That's all I'm gonna say, because her match quality was a bunch of fucking garbage, and yeah.
But yeah, I
still get sick when I see her and Eddie Guerrero.
It's so funny that, like, because I feel like the whole internet kind of, I mean, other than like wrestling fans and Chyna fans, obviously, but yeah, they kind of were just like, oh, she died, but Prince died. Like, that's terrible. It's terrible for those people, I guess.
Yeah, and of course, everyone wanted to jump and say Prince died of a drug overdose. It's like, dude's like 58. I really don't think that fucking taking Viagra and snorting shit out of your ring is how you are able to tour fucking 100 days a year.
Oh no, you can't. I mean, that's
you can't. At 50, because it kind of hit me, because that's my dad. That's how old my dad is. It was like, whoa.
Yeah, mine too.
And it also kind of fucked me up, because like the very next morning, Purple Rain was the #1 fucking movie on a bunch of lists somehow all over the internet. It's like, you fucking whores, you faggots, you clickbait douchebags, fuck you.
I mean, I'll be honest, like, I'm not a huge Prince fan, but I do respect him, and like I appreciate everything he's done, and like I mean, I love that scene in Batman. I mean, and everybody knows what scene I'm talking about. This is a scene where the Joker and his posse like paint all that shit up, and they're playing the Prince song.
Party Man, they're doing the party.
That will be forever burned into my memory. Like, never will it like vanish, because dude, everything about it, the music and just like everything going on in the scene, I don't know, awesome. And like, I had that soundtrack as a kid, and I listened.
I still do
all those songs. So, I mean, awesome. Totally awesome.
Absolutely. In fact, Scapelli, I'm going to do it right there. Scapelli asked, he says, what was my favorite song? I said, that Party Man from the Batman soundtrack is one of my favorite Prince songs. The other one being I Would Die For You. That's right. I love the ballad from from Purple Rain, because I'll tell you the truth. When I worked at a storage place in LA years ago, a bunch of fucking Mexicans only wanted to listen to the R&B station. And I hate R&B radio stations, but every once in a while, I Would Die For You would come on by Prince, and I would actually enjoy my work for just like 2 minutes, 49 seconds.
Awesome.
It was great. But yes, rest in peace to Prince. I kind of had a sad moment, because I was talking to my wife, as I do sometimes, and when she insists, and I said, I don't believe it. I live in a world devoid of Prince, Michael Jackson, and David Bowie.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
You know, and a lot of people are hollering right now. Lemmy fucking died this year. It's like, yeah, but see, Lemmy was a very real person. David Bowie, Michael Jackson, Prince, they always seem like magic.
Yes, exactly, dude. That's so
They
true.
weren't. They were regular fucking people. But now, you know what this really does? This really calls into question, what in the fuck are the Rolling Stones doing? What is keeping these fucking guys? They outlived Michael Jackson, Prince, David Bowie. Shit, who knows what Terry Kath from Chicago was doing? No one knows who Terry Kath from Chicago is, so it doesn't matter.
That's one of my mom's favorite bands. Chicago.
What, Chicago? Oh man,
Yeah.
Chicago was the shit.
She loves Chicago, man. I listened to that stuff growing up.
Okay, that's fantastic. And all right, good.
But yeah, man. I mean, the Prince thing definitely sucks. I feel like the internet as a whole kind of needs to, like, I don't know, relax a little bit, because like when people die, it really affects people. It's not something like, and yeah, people didn't know Prince personally, but if you really love an artist's art, you feel connected to that person no matter what. And when they die, it hurts, you know, like a part of you kind of dies with them. Like it's just kind of the way it works out. And I feel like the internet gets way too fucking shitty about this kind of stuff. Like, just let it be, man. When people die, that's when respect needs to come into play. I don't give a fuck what you do otherwise, internet, but like, you know, give somebody some respect when they're dead, because I mean that's all we can fucking do in that situation.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I've always been of the mind, you know what? Fuck the dead, because they're dead, and what the fuck are they gonna do about it? But when you realize that people can run their mouths, and the people who run their mouths are the ones that have no fucking legacy. The legacy will stand for itself. The work will stand for itself. You are what you do. And those who do not post shit on the fucking internet, those are the fucking people that don't do anything. Those are the people that say, you know, and you can say a lot of that is what it is, but I know what you say, that the internet needs to relax. The internet needs to understand that it's a fucking advertising stream, and that it should be thankful for what it has. At the same time, it's also a good way that people can, you know, grieve, you know, transcontinentally, and that's also a beautiful thing. But
Yeah,
it's, you know, anytime something happens, anything, there's an opportunity for, you know, for light and dark. And,
it's true.
you know, it just depends on which path you're going to take. There's a fork in the road at every possible opportunity.
I just feel like people should have better things to do with their lives. But I guess
well, you know, let's be perfectly honest. Like what?
I mean, go walk your dog, do something. Like, why do you need to sit there and like type this hateful thing out just to some dude because you don't like Prince, or you don't like, you know, it seems so silly, man. Like, why go walk your dog, go like see someone that you care about, talk to him, have a conversation with a real person. Like, don't just sit there and anonymously hate. Like, it seems so odd to me. I don't know. I just don't get it.
Well, no, the only more odd than that are the people who hate with their own names. Those.
Yeah.
I can understand people who hate anonymously, but people who use their own names to hate, that's like Ann Coulter and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's. God damn, man. I thought that bitch was annoying on Fox News. Then she found Twitter. Oh, good grief. I'm not saying Ann Coulter is the reason that everyone hated on Prince, but fuck it, I'll blame her anyway, because we're on the internet and we can do that sort of thing. But and now, oh, did Keith Emerson die? That sucks.
That's what I was seeing.
How about that? See, you know what? But you know, people die. It's you know, I remember when Christopher Lee died, a few people sent me messages and they said, how could this happen? And I said the same thing back to all three of them. I said, old people die. That's how that works.
Definitely.
He wasn't living with a gypsy curse. He was 91. It was time.
Yeah.
He got to outlive my great grandfather by 6 years, and I thought that guy would never die. Now, pretty soon we're going to start talking about when people in your own life die, and then it gets all weepy and sad and shit. We can't have that. Not on the Chaos program. But, yeah, so rest in peace to Prince and to Chyna and to Keith Emerson, apparently.
Yeah, all of them.
And do I still want to kick Steve Jobs in his old dead balls? I've gotten over it, and I think we all should. Okay, now, what did I have on here? Machine, did you hear about this? GameStop wants to publish games. How about that?
I did hear about that.
You said you had some feelings about that. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, this probably isn't going to be a popular opinion, but I think it's the smartest thing that they've done business-wise in a long time, because digital is inevitable. It's going to happen. There is going to be no physical media for games anymore. I'm sorry to all you guys out there, but it's coming, and GameStop's got to make money somehow when that happens. So, I mean, business-wise, I think it's smart. Now, do I think they can pull off making games? I mean, they've got some companies, like, I guess, did they buy these companies or what? I don't know.
What I have deduced, I have not deduced that they're going to be developing any games of any kind, or they're going to publish games. They're going to be a place where other people can come work for them.
Okay.
As typical with their regular business model. And so they're not going to make games. They're going to publish the games. And for those of you who don't know what game publishing really means, it means throwing away money. And sometimes it comes back, but usually it doesn't. And if GameStop is good at anything, they're good at throwing away money.
It's true.
So this might work, right? Right, Machine?
Yeah. I think that I read somewhere that, like, one of the companies that might make games for him are the people that made Dying Light. I don't know if you played Dying Light, but it was a decent game, not terrible.
Dying Light.
If they can get companies like that and they can throw them some money and they make good games, I mean, that's cool, man. Whatever. I think you need to be careful about what pony you back in that department. Like, definitely.
Oh, absolutely. And your remarks about digital only, there's always these people talk about the all digital future, and I don't believe there will ever be an all 100% digital future, because collectors don't collect digital shit. A good chunk of the video gaming audience are collectors. And I
mean, that's fair.
Anybody as a business cannot afford to tell a whole chunk of people to fuck right the fuck off.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they're going to publish physical stuff.
Just my opinion, I just feel like it's going to come, because I feel like companies are just they're not going to care anymore. Like they
will until sales slow.
What was that?
They will until sales slow. And then
that's true too.
Anything that threatens the bottom line, because right now making the physical media, the overhead, is what's threatening the bottom line. But soon, when people stop buying shit that's already cheap to make, that's going to threaten the bottom line. So, they'll always do what they feel is best for their pocketbook. Will they be right? Well, look at their fucking track record. Probably not.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. As far as them, like I said, if they're going to throw money to the right companies, that's cool. If you throw money to the wrong companies, you're going to fucking end up ruining GameStop's already ruined their reputation, I guess, so it doesn't really matter. But I could see them like tanking from something like this, because fuck, game development and all that is like so fickle anyways. Look at the studio that made that what was it? Kingdoms of Amalur or whatever. Like they made that game. It sold a good amount, but not enough, and they went under. Like, I mean, that happens a lot with games, so they just need to be careful about what they're doing.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't see them. They're not a very careful company.
So that's the funny thing. They love to go headlong into things. So I cannot believe I can't believe they bothered to tell anybody before they did this.
Yeah, that's true.
I think of anything you could take away from this, that's what's shocking, is that they told anybody. This has been a company that just fucking said, you know what? No more fucking Game Boy Advance. Since when? Since fucking 3 days ago when I was taking a shit, I decided no more Game Boy Advance. Fuck you. Oh, wait, they want to buy Game Boy Advance. okay, we're going to get a lab to test the Game Boy Advance and all this other fucking shit. And like with the retro games initiative thing, they called it. They claimed that they had been doing it for weeks before this whole thing started. So again,
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they even bothered to tell people in advance. I figured these games were just going to show up and then they'd be surprised when no one cared because it's one more fucking thing on an app store.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing. Everybody, because they say that mobile and digital games are the way for other places to go, but you only have so much virtual shelf space. The eyeballs can only stand to look at so many screens on your PlayStation Network or Xbox Live or the App Store or the Google Play Store. You can only look at that so many times before it's like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to play Drop 7.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. They're a silly company. They spend money in silly ways, and this is just another way for them to sillily spend money. So
right. Well, I mean, you're right with that. It's the smartest thing to do because what's funny is they slit their own throat in the used game market.
Yes.
So they have no one to blame but themselves on that, and they're under a heavy load carrying a lot of retail space, a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot believe how many GameStops there are just near me that I saw on the drive home today.
Oh, dude, there's like 4 GameStops in my town, and it's not a very big town, really.
Yeah, so, yeah. I saw 4, and my drive home is not very long, and I saw 4, and they finally closed one of them. Otherwise, it would have been 5. But people don't need video games this badly, maybe.
Yeah.
But now we're just bitching about GameStop, and that's what YouTube was started on, and we're now here to move into the future. We're going to talk about other things. You know what I want to talk about? I heard about this, and I didn't get a lot of the details, and I'm sad I didn't. But apparently there are some individuals who think it would be a good idea to have eSports at this year's 2016 Summer Olympics, even though it's going to be the fucking winter in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And Machine, did you hear about this at all? Anything?
I didn't hear about it, but I mean, it's fucking stupid.
It is, absolutely. Because from what I understand and from what I have read, which is very little because the details are kind of spotty, which is kind of weird because the Olympics are in like a few months. They're coming up. They're going to be here before you know it. And now this is just now trickling out. But I guess they hope somehow to attract professional gamers to Rio to compete against each other for medals. Now, I don't know if they understand this, but people who play video games for a living make their living at that sort of thing. There's no team that's going to pay to fly them there and to do this and to do that. And also, you're going to be there for a month. You got to have your passport. You got to have all this stuff. And you're going to be there for a month. That's a month where you could be making money, but instead you're fucking just wasting time in Brazil.
Yeah.
And so I really want to know. And secondarily, would you watch that? I mean, I imagine I'd watch it for curiosity, but I can't say I'd follow it for a week.
Yeah.
At least I don't think so. I don't think.
No. Like I don't the esports thing in general, like
it's kind of weird.
What?
It's kind of weird. It's kind of like some Jetson shit, right? Like some futuristic shit that you never thought would come to fruition.
I mean, here's the thing, like
when you were a kid, I hope I can get paid to play video games one day.
The Olympic athletes go through torture basically to become Olympic athletes. Like, it's not just something that's like, oh, I'm just going to go do this. You have to fucking dedicate
your fucking life to it.
Yes. And like, okay, guys, I love video games just as much as the next guy, but is it something you want to dedicate your whole life to? Because, I mean, and like the whole thing in general, like, I don't know. Getting a gold medal is a big deal. It doesn't seem like it to this generation, I'm imagining, that's below us, but like, it is a big fucking deal to get a fucking gold medal. And to get it for playing Call of Duty just seems disgusting to me.
Not well. I mean, the Xbox has been handing out gold medals for fucking years now, so I don't know why you're so shocked
yeah,
about
but that's an Xbox gold medal. Like this is a real gold medal, man. Like,
But
I
not
don't
really
know.
if they're giving it out for fucking video games. And also, what message does that send? That they're going to be playing games on presumably a PC or a PlayStation 4, which is like what? Double the income of the average family in Brazil?
Yeah.
Something ridiculous thing like that. Like the biggest game machine there is still the Sega Genesis because people are poor.
Yeah.
The only people that would, because you know what's going to be, right? They're not going to get any of the e-gamers. They're not going to get any of the esports players from North America because they're not going to make any money. It's going to be a bunch of fucking rich drug dealers kids who play this shit all day long and don't have to sell chicle out in the fucking streets of Brazil, to help the family and shit. That's who's going to be doing this, and so it's going to be a fucking puppet prize, if anything. And I don't understand. Who is this for?
Yeah.
I
don't know.
I don't know. Well, actually, if you really think back to when, like the early 90s when we were kids, most of the products advertised on television, you'd say, who is this for?
Yeah. It's true.
Remember the aluminum foil suit that you wear when you jog?
Oh my God, no. That
No,
sounds so dumb.
They had those. They had aluminum foil jogging suits that you wore while you jog. And what they're not telling you is you're fucking cooking yourself. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people passed out and died before they found out that this is kind of a bad idea.
That's like the type of shit wrestlers do to cut weight.
That's exactly what they do. But they're fucking professional wrestlers. They're not goddamn, grandma.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll give an aluminum suit to grandma? Especially when she can go jogging out in the lightning.
Grandma, you'll really like it.
Yeah, go jog out in the
down
thunderstorm.
The street, she starts hyperventilating.
Oh, this is what healthy must feel like. I assume that's what everyone's grandma sounds like.
Go get my smokes, honey.
Oh, good grief. Quite a conversation going on in the comments section, isn't there?
Yeah, I was seeing that.
Who's running their mouth down there? I saw some things and it got away from me. People hating on. Nick Canfield, who was talking shit about my big fat glass. I don't know if I should even pay any attention to him, but he wants to know how I feel about this whole Roman Reigns thing. WrestleMania was a little while ago, and did I talk about it already, Machine? You were there. Did we say anything about WrestleMania in the last show?
No.
I know people were hoping for it, and I think it just turned into,
I don't think we did.
I think it just turned into makeup tips with Carcamo. So.
Yeah. I didn't watch it, but I listened to a podcast about it, and from what I heard, I didn't miss anything, so I'm not really too upset about it. But I mean, like, honestly, for the last few years, WrestleMania to me has just been a joke. Like, I don't know. It's not like when we were younger or even in the 90s. Like, just, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I've always told people not to let their nostalgia get in the way. A large amount of the WrestleMania
I tried not
garbage.
to, man. It's hard, though.
Yeah, I mean, people have unrealistic expectations, and I can understand that because especially the WWF corporate publicity machine leads you to believe it is going to be the greatest goddamn thing you've ever seen in your life. And so was the last month's event and the event before that and the month before that and the month before that. They tell you the same fucking thing every time. And they seem to think that people want a concert in the middle of what's supposed to look like a sporting event.
Yeah.
I've never grasped that. But there's talk going on about the Roman Reigns push. And, it doesn't look all that different from a lot. I mean, look how much money they spend on The Miz. I think Roman Reigns is better than The Miz, but I think Roman Reigns is too pretty for professional wrestling. I know I've said that before, but he can't go into movies because he can't talk. He seems like a really nice kid. And most Samoan kids who are not in jail come off as nice kids. I'm saying this out of experience. Don't say I'm being racist. I'm just saying this out of experience. This is what I've noticed. And he seems like a nice kid, and it seems like I don't know what they want him to really do because they don't seem to be asking much of him. They seem to be asking more of the audience than anything else.
Yeah.
That's what it seems to me.
Yeah,
But they're not doing a very good job at it, because every time they ask you to please like Roman Reigns, they slap you in the mouth with their penis for liking wrestling. They do a little thing that just slaps you like, how dare you like this faggoty shit, you faggot. At least that's what it seems like to me. It seems like, and I stopped watching Monday Night Raw some time ago, but I can't tolerate it, because now it's only like 4 fucking wrestling matches in 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Disgusting. And but I don't feel bad for Roman Reigns. I don't feel bad for Roman Reigns. They said due to the hate he gets. Like, the hate he gets is on the fucking internet. This never even registers with this kid. If he were to turn his phone off and not look at Twitter, he'd have no fucking idea, because he's got people around him telling him how pretty he is and taking care of him, because that's what the WWF does. And then if you cause any trouble, then they fucking put the screws to you. But no, I don't feel bad. I think that if you want to be, here's the thing. Just like when certain actors who are not any good at acting get hate, and then the media, TMZ and the like, expect to feel bad because they're being hated because they're not good at what they do. The lesson is the whole purpose of being a show person, an entertainer, which is what everybody is. Musicians, people who act in movies, professional wrestlers, it's entertainers, people who entertain you and make you feel good about what it is that you do and can connect with you, and also able to connect with a large body of people, can feel people's emotions. If you can't do that, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
If you can't do, especially in professional wrestling, if you can't connect with the audience, there's nothing else. You can't sing a song. You can't have a cooking show. You can't paint a nice picture of happy trees. It doesn't work. If you can't connect with the audience, there's nothing else. You need to go sell real estate or something productive. There's so many people that don't get that being a movie star or even like this thing we do on YouTube, doing this requires a connection with people. You have to understand that there are people really behind this lens who are really listening and want to feel a certain way, to hear certain things. If you can't do that, then what are you doing? You're jerking off. You're satisfying your own ego. But if you're not drawing money, then you're not doing that either.
I mean, you speak the truth.
It seems like he's a big pet project, is what people like that just seem like, here, this guy's good looking, I want to give him money. I'm Vince McMahon. Like, I can't do Vince McMahon. I don't have the pecs to do Vince McMahon, but he's Vince McMahon, damn it. And he's gonna do what he wants. I'm sorry, Machine, what were you saying?
Oh, nothing.
Okay.
I disagree. I agree with what you're saying. I like, if you can't work the mic and get the crowd into what you're doing, then you probably should pick another line of work, because that's the gig. So
well, and I don't think a lot of the young wrestlers understand that you have to learn to work the mic, because look at what Stone Cold Steve Austin does for a living. Look at what Chris Jericho does for a living. Look what Mick Foley does for a living. Yes. Look what Edge and Christian do for a living. They talk. They don't wrestle anymore. They don't take fucking bumps off of scaffolds anymore. They don't fall off of ladders anymore. They talk. People apparently want to hear them talk. People give them money to talk. And if you can't do that, you don't have a future. That's the whole thing. Because what happens to old wrestlers? They become wrestling managers. Yep. And there are exceptions, like Mr. Fuji couldn't fucking talk to save his life, but he was a manager. I don't know how that works out, but you know. So, but the point is, and this goes in any walk of entertainment. There's movie actors that don't get. It's like they want their privacy. It's like you have to be able to deal with the people. That's your job. I know it sucks, but that's your job. It's like being in retail just all the time.
Yep.
Because retail, do you work here? Excuse me. But all the time, and you don't even need a name tag. That's the difference.
Yep.
That is genuinely the difference.
True.
Anyway, so do I think they can turn the hate around on Roman Reigns? No, because all that shit on Twitter is logged. People will revisit that shit. Thanks to internet security and the way things are and with backups, people are using the internet in a way they never have before to preserve their hatred for use on a later date.
Yep. It's true.
It's amazing because you hear about Carbonite and the iCloud and these other backup services. That's what people are using it for. They're using the internet in a way to preserve their hatred. Oh, it's going to be a grand and glorious thing when everybody remembers their disdain for everything. Everything. Because really, realistically, that's the way it works. Similarly to the way that the TV wants you to believe, like, for instance, Andrew, what state do you live in? Tell the nice people where you come from.
I live in West Virginia.
West Virginia. You live in a red state, right?
No, I don't know. I'm not sure, honestly, to be completely honest with you.
Is your governor a Republican?
You
don't know, do you?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
See, perfect. That's perfect because and I live in a blue state in California, and the TV is trying to convince all you people that because of that, we all vote the same way. Andrew has no idea who the governor is. He doesn't care. It doesn't matter. So which goes to show we're all just people, and we will do what we please.
I do think our state is normally a Democratic state. I could be wrong about that, though.
Okay, so depending
I'm gonna look it up so that I know and I don't look so dumb.
You're gonna look it up. That's good.
Yeah, I need to know now.
Now he needs to know. I'm sorry, guys. We're filling all this political banter and so on and so forth.
I don't pay attention to politics because they all fucking lie to me. There's no point in me trying to sift through the lies to find out which liar I like the most.
I know, as I've said on this program, and I've had to scream this at people because some of my friends, now my friends are getting older and they're becoming old people, and I'm doing everything I can to like scrape away that shit. Like, no, you don't need this. Like all that, they're becoming Republicans and shit like that. But they really think that it's left versus right, Republican versus Democrat, Pepsi versus Coke, and it's like it's not. I'll tell you this once and for all time: it is business people versus everybody else. That's all it is. These people want power so they can make more money because when you have a certain amount of money, fuck you, there are no laws.
Democratic.
Okay, how about that? See? But then again, I'm not sure what the red versus blue really states because Fox News wants you to believe this and MSNBC wants you to believe that.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I had it the other way around, switch my hands, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that brings us to the end of our program. We hope you had a great time. Because I'm being yelled at on my text message here, so I really have to get going. I wasn't supposed to say that out loud. It's supposed to be a great program. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Got to get going. I didn't mean to cut this one short, but I do have something to take care of. Hope to see you all in the near future. Everyone, my guest today has been the RPG Machine 86. Andrew, say goodbye to the nice people.
Goodbye, nice people. Thank you, Stephen, for having me on. It was fun.
Thank you.
To do it again.
Thank you very much. And also, everyone, make sure and check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and all that good stuff. And check out the Mitomo because, as I've told you before, it's better than free head. And, well, some. So there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We'll see you next time. And as always, remember that a friend in need is, in fact, a pest. Good night.